Hey guys, my name is Peteonthebeat. In this video I want to answer a few questions, and besides answering the questions I would like to show something that I believe is pretty cool. I'm talking about this t-shirt right here. This is the first t-shirt I ever designed. As you can probably see, it says Omad Gains. Right now as I'm speaking I would like to show you different angles of the actual design and the logo, a little pen tilt and slider shot in order to help you develop a better idea exactly how it looks. So with that being said, I would like to start with the first three questions. All of them come from the same person. The name of the person is Floris Esturgi or Floris Esturgi. Please excuse me if I do not pronounce your name correctly. So here's the first question and the actual comment. Could you spell out the name of the man you're talking about? I'm not a native speaker and I don't think I spelled the name right, thanks. So I already told you I talk about Serge Nubret. Right now I'm about to show a photo of Serge Nubret. Serge Nubret is the guy who inspired me to start doing the 1 meal a day. That is the man who really inspired me to get deep into the intermittent fasting and whatnot. Not only because he's one of the most legendary bodybuilders ever lived, but because of the fact he's like also an actor and he's involved in multiple art forms, if I can put it like this, besides bodybuilding. And yeah, the whole dieting, the whole regimen of Serge Nubret is very like intuitive way of eating. It's based around consumption of stupid amounts of red meat, preferably high quality horse meat, and a little bit of white rice. That was basically the whole eating plan of Serge Nubret. Like 1 meal a day, a lot of red meat and some white rice. Serge Nubret is one of my all-time favorite bodybuilders, like one of my all-time, literally. I'm a huge fan of the old school era. I'm a huge fan of the classic physiques, tiny little waists, those proportions like symmetry, X-frame type of physique. I hope that makes sense. And Serge Nubret is huge inspiration. R.I.P. Serge Nubret. So right now it's time to move to the second question from the same person. If you're doing Omad plus keto, are you eating salt during the day or only at your meal? So no, I do not consume anything throughout the day besides when I do a 48-hour fast. When I do a 48-hour fast, I'll probably have some salt with my water in the morning or during lunchtime, during the middle part of the day, if I can put it like this. For the most part, during my fasted state, the only things that I consume are spring water, like a lot of spring water and a lot of high quality coffee, Americanos or French presses. I hope that makes sense. So now it's time to move to the third question. Could you explain your salt intake? Do you eat salt in the morning? Salt seems to be so important for keto. Yeah, most definitely salt. It is extremely important. I do not believe it is important only for keto or for paleo. I believe you should eat salt even if you do like more of a higher carbohydrate based diet and whatnot. Salt is essential. It is extremely important for your brain functioning. Also, it is very important for your pumps at the gym and whatnot. As it mentioned, I do not consume any salt during my fasts and whatnot, but right now I will explain you my salt intake, so just a second. I stick with high quality sea salts, for example Himalayan pink rocks. For the most part I stay with Celtic sea salt. The Celtic sea salt is my all-time favorite, but nowadays I use this one. It says Atlantic Mineral Sauce because it is a German product, and that is basically a sea salt high in iodine mixed with organic seaweed, as you can probably see. What I do is I keep my sodium intake even and my water intake even. But please do not get me wrong, I'm not saying that I consume less salt or I drink less water. In fact, it is the totally opposite. I keep my sodium intake high and my water intake high, as long as for the water I drink between a gallon to gallon and a half per day. So as long as for the even salt intake, I know plenty of people have pretty hard time to keep their sodium intake even when they sprinkle some salt on top of their food and whatnot. So additional tip that I would like to give you is to use a scooper. I use this little scooper. I keep the scooper in the whole salt pack. I know it sounds a bit weird, but if you're familiar with my videos, then you probably already know that I'm a weirdo. You cannot go wrong with the scooper, trust me on that one. So what you want to do is to maintain an even sodium intake and an even water intake for the extended period of time of 7 to 10 days. So what is going to happen during this extended period of time is you're going to suppress a certain hormone called aldosterone. That hormone retains salt and makes your body to retain water. So when you suppress that hormone, your body will start excreting all of the excess water, and that will give you that like more of a crispy conditioning, if I can put it like this, and you will also feel a lot better. That will also definitely improve your brain functioning. I mean, I feel a lot better. That is the main reason why I drink stupid amounts of water, like a gallon to gallon and a half per day. I know some of the IFBB pros drink a lot more water. I'm not an IFBB pro and I'm not interested in competing, but the other thing that I would like to suggest you is to stick with spring water. Why? Because I found that the spring water, it is a lot less taxing to your kidneys. For me, for example, if I have to drink those amounts of water from something like mineral water, I found those types of water are a lot heavier, and I have pretty unpleasant experiences excreting all of the water, you see. And as long as for the whole keto thing and the salt, yeah, most definitely salt is vital for keto adaptation, because since you no longer eat carbohydrates, your body will start excreting all of those excessive amounts of water, because a gram of carbohydrates retains between 2.7 to 3.5 grams of water, and since you no longer eat the carbohydrates, your body will start excreting the water, and that will lead to cramping, poor brain performance, massive brain fog, swings in your mood, and you will feel like crap. So you want to replenish all of the salts. You basically want to keep a proper electrolyte balance. So yeah, I hope I answered your question. So right now, guys, it's time to move to the next two questions. Both of them come from another person. The name of the person is Asmir DRPL Jainin. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. If not, please excuse me. So here's the first question. Pete, how do you know how many calories do you need? What kind of calorie calculator do you use? So bro, I really don't want to disappoint you, but since 2016, I no longer track my calories. I no longer track anything. I do not track any calories, any macros. I eat instinctively until I reach fullness. Basically, I eat and then I stop eating. That is it. No rocket science. It is pretty similar to the Serge Nubret way of eating. It is very intuitive lifestyle, if I can put it like this. A thing that I would like to definitely make clear in order to help you understand better exactly what I do is the fact that I avoid by any means calorie restriction, because I always knew that the calorie restriction massively affects my brain performance. So I tend to stay away. I do not tend to stay away. I actually avoid any caloric restriction. I mean, as you probably already know nowadays, because of the weather and those long walks I talk about in my other videos, I skip whole days of eating. I alternate between having 5 and 6 meals throughout the whole week, 1 meal a day, as you probably know. I feel fantastic and I'm in great shape. You can check some footage of me flexing and whatnot, but I avoid caloric restriction by any means. I do not consume any low calorie foods. I don't fuck with low calorie diets. I mostly rely on animal fats and animal proteins, and they're extremely calorie dense, as you probably already know. Now it's time to move to the last question, and the last question is again from Asmir. Yo Pete, love your videos, keep it up, thank you, that is the plan. I have question though, I may have gotten this all wrong, but you said you eat 5 times a week. I used to do that in 2015, nowadays I started doing it once again, but I do not do it year round. I mean, I simply don't do it year round. So in order to perform a 48-hour fast, should I eat Monday to Friday, then fast Saturday and Sunday and eat again on Monday, or should I eat again on Sunday at the 48-hour mark? Because if I eat on Sunday, then it becomes 6 meals in a week, and if I eat on Monday, then the fast is a lot longer than 48-hour fasts. Since I usually eat at around 9 p.m. Would appreciate it big time if you could help me out, thanks. So what I do and what I found works best for me when I go for 5 meals per week thing is to skip Tuesday and also skip Saturday, you see. So my meals are scheduled on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Sunday. Those are the 5 meals. I skip the Saturday and I also skip the Tuesday. So if you really want to get into the 5 meals per week thing, I suggest you go for it, but make sure you're firstly adapted to the ketogenic state. Being in the state of ketosis makes everything a lot easier. In fact, makes things effortless in my personal opinion. The other thing is the fact, especially if you train, and even if you don't train, your brain needs the fat, your brain needs all of the nutrients, micronutrients and everything. Make sure you consume high quality foods with your 5 meals and simply do not overstress the whole schedule. In fact, the schedule really doesn't matter. Do what works for you. Do that one thing that seems to be as the most essential for your body. Like for me, the best thing is to skip the whole Tuesday and whole Saturday. That is the best thing, and I actually always skip Saturday nowadays. I don't know. It's like extremely natural for me to skip the Saturday of eating, and when I woke up on Monday, I feel rejuvenated. Besides those things, also use a glucometer, especially during the 48-hour fasts, and I believe you're good to go. Matter of fact, right now I'm in the middle of a 48-hour fast. I feel fantastic, and the other thing that I would like to say is the fact that it's not Tuesday and it's not Saturday, but yesterday I had an amazing walk later at night, and my subscribers already know that I really don't fuck with cooking before I go to the bed, especially because I really don't want to mess my circadian rhythm and whatnot. So yeah guys, I believe I covered everything. I hope I answered all of the questions. I would like to thank you for stopping on my page, commenting, watching my videos and whatnot. If you like the video, please do not hesitate, smash that thumbs up button down below. You can also feel free to share the video in order to help other people benefit from the information and whatnot. I'm pretty sure there are other people who want to know the answers of those questions. Some of the videos I upload here are actually related to full blog posts with articles on my website, that is Peteonthebeat.com. And yeah, I'm a repeater for now. I would like to thank you for watching this video. Please stay tuned for more and keep them Omad gains going. Peace.